what's a couple of tips on just running in general that can help somebody to have better form, better technique, whatnot?
Yeah, so we developed some of the best 800-meter and 1500-meter runners by training them how to sprint, right? Because people don't realize that your cardio is not going to move you around the track faster, right? Your cardio is just going to allow you to sustain at least an optimum high end speed, like at least like the type of speed that you want, especially if it's an 800 or a 1500 or even a 3200 in most cases. All of our guys start out as sprinters because they need to understand how to strike the ground and put a lot of force into the ground to move their body forward, right? Well, a sprinter who's running 100 meters is going to be able to hit that top end speed, and no matter what, the body's going to always decelerate because you're burning high octane energy. So for a person who's trying to become a distance runner, they got to realize that if you go out there and sprint all day, sprint, and then go jump into the marathon, you don't have very long before your body's like, hey, I'm not ready for this, right? So they got to understand the two things. So sprinting is all about, hey, I'm going to sprint for 10 meters, 20 meters, and I need to rest my body full recovery for at least 45 seconds to a minute. And then do that again, right? As fast as I possibly can. And you only want to do about 6 to 8 of those things per day, but you don't want to sprint every single day because you'll burn your body out, right? Now, if you are trying to become a long distance runner to where you're trying to run 800s, 1500s, and you're trying to do it faster, what you got to realize is that that's a whole different energy system. So the things you would want to do as a person who's trying to run a better mile is that you want to run, let's just say, repeat 400s, right? You run a repeat 400, you're going to run it at about a 60 to 70% pace to where you're not burning out like a sprinter, but you only give yourself so much time to rest. So in other words, a sprinter wants to fully recover because you want them to do that full speed. But when you're trying to get a distance runner to actually be able to get the cardio needed, but also at the same time that the type of anaerobic needed, in other words, if I broke it down in the math, you're going to have anaerobic and aerobic working, right? So if you're a distance runner, you want to be more like 25 to 30% anaerobic, which is moving fast and explosive, versus aerobic, meaning cardio. So if I can move around that track at about a good 65 to 7% pace, but then don't allow myself to fully rest and then put my body back underneath that stress within less than, let's just say, a minute and a half or even less in some cases, then I'm creating a cardiovascular system that can actually take that, right? That sort of brunt work, because now it's being repped and to understand like, hey, look, when your body's tired and wore down, if you're running about 65, 70%, you can do this, and all of a sudden your body rests just a little bit to actually push it again, then you're in a whole different energy system that allows you to build what you need to build to be a better distance runner. So again, it's just understanding the difference. A lot of people say, hey, sprinters are lazy. No, they're not. They just built they built totally different.
They're
And when
just
you can
smart.
understand what they are. Yeah, they're smarter, right?
Smart. Just get in and get out.